Welcome to NuttieBuddie Entertainment. The Ugly.
Brian,
Ew!
what's your first ugly?
My first ugly, I think you had it in the bad, but it was Heroes Past. I really didn't enjoy that we didn't get it like a glimpse or something into it, especially because like his motivation, it's like confliction, especially when his like speech to Ahmed, where he was, being like, I have this penance. Well, what is the penance? What did you do? Was it just you and, working for Khonshu, or was there like a specific situation where like I have to atone for this sort of thing? So I wish we would have gotten some sort of, I don't like flashbacks, but just having like a brief flashback with him would have been nice.
I agree with that. And then they killed him off in the end, which is partly bad too, because
We didn't see him die. So is he dead?
That's a great question.
Oh, he was shot. Yes, he's dead.
Brandon, do you got an ugly for us?
Okay, so like I don't necessarily have an ugly. I don't know. I just like stuff like that is kind of like just rolls off my back. I don't necessarily think of too like, this took me out of it, is guess what I was gonna say. But to like jump on to what kind of Brian said is that was such a like interesting first few sequence of the shot when the show started out. That was like drinking the drink, bashing the glass, putting it in his shoes. Like that is so exciting. And I'll have to agree with Brian. I don't know if it's necessarily an ugly for me, but I agree with the fact that it's like, yeah, the character is just kind of a big letdown then after that. But like that opening sequence is like, what is this guy? What is this about to be? There's something weird here. I'm excited. And then it just kind of was like, yeah, it is what it is.
No, but it's true, because like it was such a big part of the story, because every time he was walking around, you could hear the glass every time, which gave me like the goosebumps and the heebie-jeebies. But
we've all stepped on glass, correct?
Oh yeah.
Like we've done that at least once in our lifetime. And the pain that comes through that, just imagine 100 shards. It's just like, no.
I don't want to imagine.
And like, okay, I know we're in the ugly right now, so I'm like rooting the format here, but the music choice there too was so good. Like I love that. I loved it.
That's okay. We sometimes bring it all the way back around. No big deal. I might as well just hit on my first ugly then, which kind of ties into maybe Arthur not being dead, is death means nothing in the MCU right now. Like death means nothing. They don't have like any guidelines or rules right now in this universe for us to know if someone is truly dead or not. They have the multiverse, and now they have like realms where you can like visit for a little while and then be resurrected. So like Arthur could have been shot, but he could end up in the Duat and then end up balancing his heart, and Osiris or whoever the guy could open the doors, he could be alive again. Because, so it's just like, I hate when, like there's no stakes or consequences. And it feels like we're in that place with the MCU. Like even the spoiler you mentioned earlier that I'll bleep out about Multiverse of Madness with someone I shouldn't mention, but like, are they dead? Do we know? Like, like what I'm saying, like it means nothing right now, which I just don't like, because it puts us in this awkward situation. Like, should I care? Should I worry? Should I be upset? Or are they just going to be back in, a month or whatever it might be? We'll see them again. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of my ugly, is just another way where they can kind of like cheat death in the MCU. And I'm not really a big fan of that.
Question about that. Does this show even take place in the main Marvel timeline or universe? Like, would that be crazy if they flipped it on its head?
What is it, 616?
Yeah, like what if they flipped it on its head and it's like not there? That's why we didn't see anyone, because it's completely different, and they tie that in. I don't know if that makes any sense. This is me being
no, it does. I mean, we didn't really get anything. I mean, do they even talk about the blip at all?
No, I don't think so.
I don't. That's interesting.
All right, if this is real, I said it here, folks.
You heard it here. Yeah, no, that was like a theory
from 934 universe or something like that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, it would make sense, like how it doesn't tie together yet with anything else. Like, that was like my theory, like hoping that they would go in with in Multiverse of Madness, like somehow retcon Eternals, that Eternals happen in a different universe, and then like, so that's why we never hear about the hand coming out of the ocean and not destroying like half the earth by doing that, causing like tidal waves and like tsunamis or whatever. But we didn't obviously hear about any of that. So yeah, maybe, but that'd be interesting. I'd actually like that a little bit.
Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there were those like on the, I think in the second episode when Mr. Knight was fighting and that bus rode by and there was like a poster on the bus for the world relief whatever for the people who were blipped. So
that's right. Well,
that
you
was
just
the only mention. I know, I'm sorry. Got ruined it. But hey, that would have actually been pretty dope. But yeah.
Look at Brian out here destroying dreams.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, any other uglies, guys? Any other?
Yeah, my only other, I don't know if it's ugly. I'm just worried a little bit of how, like what we were talking about, how Moon Knight is going to play into the overarching MCU universe, because he's going to have to be introduced in a broader scale. And yeah, I'm worried about where that kind of leads or takes it to. So
yeah, we talked a little bit about like the rumor about like them doing like different types of groups, like the Reds. Wait, not the Red Sun. I'm thinking of that's DC. What was it called?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking. I can literally see one of the covers.
Yeah, where Ghost Rider and Punisher and Daredevil are part of. I can't remember, the Midnight Sun. I think the Midnight Suns. I think that's what it's called. But actually, I'm going to Google it while I talk here. But yeah, I am with you on that. It is interesting to see how they connect. Not just Moon Knight, by the way, all of it, because we're still waiting for a connective tissue to all the MCU properties right now.
Yeah.
Midnight.
Midnight Suns.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think Blade's also a part of it, which would make sense. So anyway, I guess we'll see what they do with him, but you're right. There is no clear direction with Moon Knight right now. So I'll just talk about my last ugly, which is the avatars. I felt like the only reason why they were there was to make Khonshu imprison him. That's the only reason why. They were supposed to be judges. They weren't good at being judges. They had powers. They couldn't use their powers. They were basically useless. I don't understand the whole, I still don't get the whole scene where they're like, yeah, you're telling the truth. We're not going to investigate the fact that he might be releasing Amit, knowing how powerful she is, like that made zero sense to me. And then I get like they weren't necessarily warriors, but I don't understand how they couldn't put up a little bit more of a fight against Harrow because Amit wasn't released yet. If Amit was released, I get it, but she wasn't released yet. So, and like we already mentioned in that pyramid, their powers were supposed to be amplified, the god's power. So they were ugly to me. I just feel like the only reason why they were there was to separate Moon Knight from Mark and Steven.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Okay, that's it, guys. That's all with the ugly. So let's go into. Thanks so much for listening to Brandon, Brian, and myself break down some of the Moon Knight series. Let us know in the comments below what was your great, good, bad, and ugly of this series. If you'd like to listen to the rest of our conversation, the description to the podcast is in the link below. You can click on it or search NuttieBuddie Entertainment wherever you listen to the podcast. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys soon.